a strange alliance, and a strong main event. Qualitatively, this hasn't been a bad week for fans of sports entertainment, beginning with Hell in a Cell on Sunday night, and culminating with a pretty interesting episode of NXT TV. Heading into NXT Takeover, WarGames on Survivor Series weekend, the show pulled out all the stops and finished with a strong main event. Some may argue that this show wasn't as significant as some other episodes have been, but it was certainly packed with unbelievable action from the opening bell to the closing minutes. Let's revisit the action and look at the things we found interesting, and those that we did not. Let us know in the comments below if you found anything particularly amusing about the episode we've discussed. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Number 5. Kairi Sane's first opponent determined. It's been forever since Bayley dropped the NXT Women's Championship to Asuka. Asuka held the title for so long that it was impossible to imagine any other woman at the top of the division. Now that Asuka is on her way to Raw, it's time to crown her successor. We already know that Kairi Sane, winner of the Mae Young Classic, has made her way to NXT Takeover, WarGames in Houston. This week, we learned that she will be joined by one half of the iconic duo Peyton Royce. Royce has come a long way since she first aligned herself with Billie Kay. One may even say that she has proved to be the better in-ring competitor among the two women. WWE may have huge plans for these two Aussie women when they do ascend to the main roster as a heel unit. Of course, Royce won the triple threat match at the top of the show because of some unfair advantage from an unexpected party, a strange alliance and a strong main event. Number 4. An unexpected alliance during the match between Liv Morgan, Nikki Cross and the eventual winner, Peyton Royce, to determine the next challenger for the title. We saw the Undisputed Era at the top of the ramp. They were joined by one Taynara Conti, a woman we may remember from the Mae Young Classic tournament. She went straight for Nikki Cross. In an era when man versus woman violence in wrestling is frowned upon, it was clear that Cole and company had hired this woman to even the odds against Sanity, and gain the upper hand against the ace up Sanity's sleeve Nikki Cross. Conti ended up costing Cross the match and a shot at the coveted title. It is clear that we have a mini feud on our hands now. We're glad that Conti has the chance to insert herself right into the mix, with a ready-made feud. We can't wait for her to make her NXT debut very soon. A strange alliance, and a strong main event. Number 3. Squashing everyone in his path, we saw Danny Burch come to the rescue of Oney Lorcan, a man that he's been having some close encounters during the days when he was being mauled and manhandled by Lars Sullivan. The announcers tried to make it seem like Burch had a real chance. With his boxing background in a singles match, anyone who's been watching wrestling for any length of time knew that he did not have a chance in hell, really. Sullivan flattened Burch, and is moving ever onward towards the NXT Championship. Drew McIntyre better watch out for him. We wonder when Sullivan will be booked in his first competitive match. That will change the dynamics of his matches, and may make them far more interesting. We know that the man has a bright future. Here are two other men who do as well. They are called the Street Profits. A strange alliance, and a strong main event. Number 2. Watch out, Asuka. The Street Profits may just be the most interesting tag team in all of the sports entertainment. They know how to have a great time, and can definitely go in the ring every time. What we find most amusing about them is, however, their hilarious gimmick. Having won 4 matches in a row, Montez Ford has constantly been tweeting to Asuka saying that they were on their way to conquering her undefeated record. The announcers made a note of this, and also made light of this. Montez Ford, in particular, is by far the more energetic of the two men, and steals the show every time he comes to the ring to compete. Angelo Dawkins is by no means lacking in charisma. We see them as future Raw or SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. A strange alliance and a strong main event. Number 1. Takeover-worthy main event. Most would agree that the match of the night at the 3rd edition of NXT Takeover, Brooklyn, took place between Johnny Gargano and Andrade Cien Almas. They replicated the magic in this week's episode of NXT, and had a really memorable encounter. The action was so fast-paced that it was almost like an NJPW match at times, with the advantage swinging back and forth at times. The finish was much the same as the one that took place at TakeOver, with Vega taking off her jacket to reveal the #DIY shirt underneath. Almas picked up a huge win, and should be well on his way to the top of the mix now. Of LA, can help a directionless superstar.